Up next, we've got Elisia De Valdez, a local photographer in town, with David Graves. Stick around for that one.
Hi, this is David Graves. This is Pirate Satellite TV. This is your artist section. Today, I'm going to tell you about Elisia Lazo De Valdez. You went to school to be an illustrator, graphic designer, and you started doing photography. So tell me, how is it that you got into photography? Why photography and not graphic design?
Initially, I do really love graphic design, and I was actually very good at it. But then I graduated and went into the industry, and I really hated the industry. So it was a little too backstabby, a little too paranoid for me. So photography was a course we took in college for, 2 semesters. And I had always used it for source material for illustrations. And just always sort of dabbled in it, as time went on, and I had a rousing career in retail management. and once I got out of that, I had more time to devote to it.
So how long did it take you to gain recognition as a photographer once you started out?
I was probably shooting in Seattle for about 2 years. Again, just mostly friends, and I was still using film. Then we moved to Portland, and the web was pretty new as far as people using it for self-promotion. And I just did a couple of shoots here with some random people, and then I did a shoot with a model from Seattle who had very much created a web presence for herself, in her kind of little goth circle. And for whatever reason, she came down to Portland to shoot with me. And once I shot with her, the floodgates opened, and I was shooting, every week, multiple times a week. And so through her exposing me to everyone, brought more people to me. The more people that came to me, they exposed me to everyone else. So recognition as far as I exist, and oh, look at what she's doing, probably took about it was quick, like 6 months.
And let's talk about the how you got into the publishing industry or publishing industry stock photography. How did you find out about that? Who told you, like, hey, maybe you should submit your work here? And then tell me a bit about how you became picked up by certain places.
Random happenstance. I didn't ever, when I started shooting, think that any of my work would be commercially viable for anything. I did it because I enjoyed it. I did it because I was a stay-at-home mom and was going crazy. I did it, it was fun to meet people, and I needed a creative outlet. And the first agency was called Archangel Images, which is rather ironic. The one from England. They are now in Spain, but they just found me trolling the internet. And when they contacted me, I believe they had less than 10 photographers on staff, or, in their collection. And I was like, stock what? You want to do what? I didn't even understand what they wanted my work for, or how it would apply. So that was the first gateway drug. And then once I realized what stock photography was, and that there was actually a market for my work in the arena of book covers and album covers and things that are much more conceptual, I had only, as a designer, known of stock photography as something you would use to put a brochure together for a hospital, or, something really corporate. So obviously book covers come from somewhere, but I just never thought about it. So, occasionally my work is used in like magazine editorial spreads, but really it's mostly book covers, and it was perfect.
Let's talk about photo shoots themselves. How is it that you conceive of a photo shoot? How do you put it together in your mind? Do you sketch it out? First of all, just tell me a little bit about how you put a shoot together.
It's kind of embarrassing to admit that I actually don't really put a shoot together until about an hour before the shoot happens. And so it's kind of a two-step process. Inspiration for me comes from illustrators, museums, books that I'm reading, and a lot in movies, quite a bit, the visual imagery in movies.
And one last question for you. If you had an unlimited budget, what would be your ultimate photo shoot? What would you do?
if I had an unlimited budget, the first thing I would do would be to buy a ballroom with windows that go up 20 feet in the air and gorgeous curtains, that line 3 out of 4 walls. So that would be the environment I would start in.
And Elisa, if people want to find out more about your art, where should they go to find you?
The best place is just to go directly to my website, and it's visioluxus.com, and I'll spell it out. It's VISIOLUXUS. And in case you're wondering, because I get asked this a lot, it doesn't literally mean anything, but it is a bastardization of the Latin version of a view of luxury. So, sorry.
This is Pirate Satellite TV. I am David Graves, and now, back to you, Roxy.